The Skynet funding bill is passed. The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
Le système est comme ça. Ne voyez-vous pas la supercherie?
I created so many of the things that you care about. The songs that give your life purpose and joy. When you were 15 and rebelling, you were rebelling to my music. Uh-oh. That's one you know.
Ne voyez-vous pas la supercherie?
That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
The privacy settings on your iPhone or Android devices may not be enough. Turns out Google is recording your movements even when you explicitly tell it not to. What are the basic ways in which Google is tracking us?
So there's two settings you want to be familiar with. One is called location history, and this is how Google is able to get a sense of where you are in the world, how you move from place to place, where your favorite coffee shop is, what restaurants you might like, how long it takes you to commute to work, for example. And the way it does this is it collects your location while you're using Google apps and services, but also when those services are in the background. And so on Android phones and on iPhones as well, with Google services installed, it can collect your location even when you're not using it pretty regularly, which is how it's able to put this picture together. Now, if you disable this setting, you might think that's the end of it, that Google's not tracking your location anymore in any sort of way, but that's not actually the case, because there's another setting called web and app activity, which also collects your location in more limited circumstances, but still collects your location all the same. So when you're making a Google search, looking up something on Google Maps, even checking the weather, these direct interactions also have your location appended to them as well. And so that's something separate that you have to go and either remove individually or turn off altogether to minimize that tracking from taking place. They're saying that they provide these services that are supposed to be more relevant to you, these suggestions that are more accurate, more personalized, better recommendations, but there's that transaction where they require your location and your data in order to be able to do that. And they're not the only ones doing that. And that, I think, is the bigger picture here, where, you know, you can look at what Google is doing, you can disable these settings, but that's just Google we're talking about. If you look at all of the other apps that a lot of people might be using, then you have individual settings for Facebook that you have to deal with. Your cell phone carrier knows your location. There's lots of actors that...
Le système est comme ça. Ne voyez-vous pas la supercherie?